To Decision 2017 tonight, some anti-pipeline protesters in Central Virginia are challenging Democratic candidate for governor Ralph Northam to change his views on Dominion's proposed Atlantic Coast pipeline. They peppered him with questions at this morning's monthly breakfast meeting of the Albemarle County Democratic Committee. NBC 29's Pete DeLuca was there. Pete?
Good evening, Matt. Ralph Northam supports the Atlantic Coast pipeline, and today he was greeted by many questions by protesters who asked about his support for the pipeline.
I have a very strong environmental record. One of the reasons I got into this business, I grew up on the Chesapeake Bay. It was literally my backyard.
Virginia Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam is running on an environmentalist platform in the race for governor. But fellow Democrats who oppose Dominion's planned Atlantic Coast pipeline question how he can call himself an environmentalist and support pipelines.
You can't just talk out of both sides of your mouth and say you're pro-environment and pro-pipeline. Those things don't go together at all. Pipelines burst, they leak, they explode. You have one leak in a water source, it's going to go downstream and it's going to end up in the bay.
Northam explains that as long as the pipelines are constructed correctly, they will cause no harm to the environment or to people's land.
There are things that we can do to make sure that this is done using science, that it's done safely, that it's done with transparency, and that it's done making sure that we protect people's property rights.
Virginia Democrats are concerned that Northam is the only person on their party's ticket who is pro-pipeline. They hope to change his mind.
In a perfect world, I would love to see our Democratic governor candidate return the money he's gotten from Dominion and come out against the pipelines.
Northam hopes he can change the minds of protesters through roundtable focus groups.
In the next few weeks, my wife Pam, who's an environmentalist, and I will both be traveling around Virginia, not only to Charlottesville, but places like Nelson County, Stanton, areas that are affected by the pipeline, and really sit down and, again, bring people together to the table and figure out how we can move forward in the best way.
Pipeline protester Jennifer Lewis, who is also the vice chair of the Waynesboro Democratic Committee, says that she will not vote for Northam unless he changes his stance on the pipeline.